What's up guys, and welcome to one of the most famous races, if not the most famous race in Formula 1. It is time for the Monaco Grand Prix here for the F1 Legends career mode. You guys have been loving this series, so it really is much appreciated. And boy, have we got a great race in store for you today. This famous Monaco circuit has pretty much stayed the same over the 60, 70 years of the F1 World Championship, and even beyond then, before it was even a championship race. We of course have drivers from the 1950s such as Fangio and Farina, all the way through to modern day greats such as Hamilton and Vettel. I hope you guys enjoy it. Do make sure to leave a like and let me know down in the comments who you think is going to win this race, and also who you are supporting, who you're backing for this one. But yeah, without further ado, I think we should get into the race. Again, I'm not going to do a qualifying report. I'm just going to sort of talk you through the grid, and there we can see up close the Mercedes, who I can tell you are quite a way down the field in today's race, which is a little bit of a disappointment for them. But yeah, we managed to pull off a little bit of a better qualifying than last time in Spain. There you can see us sitting on the grid with our engineer talking to us. And let's take a look through the grid then. It was Sebastian Vettel who once again took pole position from Michael Schumacher. The Monaco great Ayrton Senna will be starting in third, alongside Jenson Button, who managed to get pole here in 2009. I'm lining up alongside Hakkinen on row 3, with PK and Farina just behind me. Great qualifying sessions from them. There you can see Fangio and Clark all the way down to Fernando Alonso, who had a poor qualifying. Rest in peace, Renault. I just don't know what's happening to them this season. But nonetheless, we're going on to the formation lap now. And I can tell you that pretty much the entire field are running with the ultra soft tyres. Obviously, it was a dry qualifying, so the entire top 10 have to run with it. But I think there are a couple of drivers further down the field who are running with the super softs. It could be a two-stop race today. It's pretty much borderline between one-stop and two-stop. I think we're going to go for a one-stop though today. And there on your right-hand side, you can see the current Drivers' Championship. So we're lying in P2. And Lauda is well down the field in today's race, so this is a great opportunity to make up some points on him. But of course, Ayrton Senna not in that top 10 at the moment, but there he is starting in P3. Sebastian Vettel is a big threat in today's race. Of course, my teammates seems to have been out qualifying us a lot this season. But let's get in now to the Monaco Grand Prix, revving up to the 5 red lights, and away we go. We get an incredible start. Jenson Button very poor off the line. He's basically going backwards, and as we go into turn 1, we're actually a little bit tentative. We don't want to take any of our front wing off, and that means that we can't quite get past Hakkinen, but we have done so now, although we got a lot of wheel spin through there, so he's given us a little tap on the way through. There was a spark flying from our front wing there, and he has actually managed to get the move on us up back into P4, and we just can't find our way past him. Nelson Piquet has settled in behind us. A very poor start from the winner in here, from the winner at Monaco in 2009, Jenson Button. But there you can see a yellow flag as a virtual safety car already. We have to jam on the brakes, and Niki Lauda, the championship leader, is out of the race. We're going to take a look then at it on board, and as I mentioned, he was way down the field. You can see he's going so slowly here, behind Jim Clark, I think, and then he just gets punted from behind, and then the Tyrrell takes his wheel off. So that was just a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. A real snake of cars just going along, and he just got caught out. So very poor luck for Lauda. But I guess that's what you get for starting a long way down the field here in Monaco. That is not the case for the likes of Schumacher, Senna and Vettel. Another poor start from Vettel has left him all the way down in P3 after starting on pole. So Schumacher it was who took advantage, and we're trying to get the jump on Hakkinen as the virtual safety car is ending. We don't manage to do so, lock up our brakes in the process. But yeah, as we go through turn 1 pretty successfully, no damage done on the car as of yet, which is always a bonus around Monaco. And you can see the gap that we've pulled to Piquet behind. So yeah, it's all about chasing down Hakkinen and then getting up to that lead train of 3 cars. We go purple, of course, through the second sector because it is only lap 2 at the moment. A massive lockup as we're trying to catch up with Hakkinen, and it looks as if also Sebastian Vettel is falling off the pace. He's fallen into the clutches of the Finn Hakkinen, and well, we're just trying to sort of tag along, to be honest, at the moment. And as we go through turn 1, don't get a good enough exit, but we have actually set a faster lap than any of the 4 cars in front of us, and DRS is now enabled. It isn't too great around this circuit, of course. The only DRS zone is down that pit straight, and it's notoriously difficult to overtake around here, as we nearly bin it in the wall as early as lap 3. But skipping a lap later now onto lap 4, and we've really pulled a gap behind us, which is nice, and we can just sort of sit behind these guys now and wait for an opportunity to come. So the first opportunity we've got is going down here into Raskas. We get a good exit off the swimming pool chicane, and we dive it down the inside of Hakkinen. To be fair to him, he left us the room, and we more than taken that opportunity up into P4. And now getting a good run on our teammate, as he obviously hasn't got the DRS. We have, but we think better of it. We don't want to be colliding with our teammate this early in the Grand Prix. So, yeah, just decide to settle behind on lap 5 as we go through sort of up towards Casino Square. We actually get a really nice run, but locking up once again is going to be a big problem around this circuit over the 39 laps, and it has come to haunt us once again. But, yeah, we managed to really keep pace with Vettel over the course of lap 5, and another big lockup, but it doesn't hinder us too much, and we're just eager to get past our teammate, because it's really hindering us at the moment from getting up to that lead, the lead 2, and we're going to try and go around the outside. This would be an audacious move, but Vettel shuts the door on us quite aggressively there, to be fair, and he is not happy at his poor start, obviously. And now as we get another good run up towards the casino section, and again, think better of making a move up there. But yeah, as we go on to lap 6 now, you can just see this massive train of cars behind PK. He was really out of position in qualifying, putting a stonking lap. But yeah, it's him up in P6, followed by Button, and then in P7, who obviously started up in 4th. Giuseppe Farina, who again had a good qualifying, he's managed to stick it still in 8th. Hamilton pretty much holding his position where he started. He's currently in 9th, ahead of his teammate Fangio, who is just sitting inside the points in 10th. Nigel Mansell, of course, Williams notoriously not too great around Monaco. He is sitting just outside the points in 11th, and Jim Clark in 12th, followed by Barrichello, Fittipaldi, Brabham and Alonso. So yeah, they're all in a train, and also just ahead of these guys, what a shot this is of Monaco, by the way. We have got Schumacher followed by Senna, two of arguably the biggest legends in the sport, following each other as we go through the swimming pool and towards Raskas and Anthony Nose. That is just a beautiful shot, and there you can see us, Vettel followed by us, just coming into the shot at the end. The modern greats of F1, Red Bull and Sebastian Vettel. But we are going to try and go down the inside of our teammate now into turn 1, locking up slightly, but making the move just about within the track limits. And we will very much take that, as now Hakkinen has also managed to get a run on our teammate. Oh my god, there's been contact! There has been contact. Hakkinen goes into the wall. Vettel nearly bins it, but after all is said and done, Vettel does manage to get ahead. And, well, we will take this. It's 3.3 seconds up to Senna. So we've really lost quite a bit of time, you know, hanging behind those two. And as we come on to lap 10, the, Schumacher and Senna were just pulling each other along, to be honest. Senna very close behind, and he was actually probably quite glad to be released into some fresh air. And, yeah, Schumacher comes in very early, means that he's committing, obviously, towards the 2-stopper. He goes onto the super soft, so he doesn't have to pit again, but it's going to be a big task to do the last 29 laps. And in the background there, you can see Button and also my teammate Sebastian Vettel coming into the pit lane. So as we start lap 11, and Schumacher is actually going to join the back of that train that we actually mentioned a few laps ago. So he is not going to be happy. And if Senna does stay out for even an extra lap or two, he could very well get the jump on the German. And but good for Schumacher, as we just go back onto lap 10 momentarily, is that the head of that train has actually come into the pit lane, Nelson Piquet. But although that may be good, also he's going to be stuck behind the likes of Alonso, who, he doesn't have a great car this season. So it's going to be difficult for Schumacher to battle his way up through the field. And as we go on to lap 13, we're just falling further and further behind Senna. We are really struggling on our tyres, and at this point I'm really regretting it, because I can see everyone banging in the fastest laps. And yeah, we're a long way, but over 6 seconds behind Senna now on lap 13. So we just can't keep pace with him, I'm just going to be honest. And that goes up to then 7.6. And I believe that goes up, yeah, up to 7.7. We're just so much slower at this stage of the race. And on lap 15, we just think, you know what, I'm just going to cut my losses and come in and, you know, change over to the super soft tyres. So we're going to have to do the remaining 24 laps, I believe, on the super soft. So it's going to be a challenge, but I do believe we have got the car to do so. Obviously, those ultra soft tyres as well had to do 2 laps in qualifying. And following us in to the pit lane is Rubens Barrichello. And also Giuseppe Farina, I believe. So those two have stuck it out. Obviously, we're going to come out behind all of the 2 stoppers, which is pretty logical when you think about it. Because, yeah, they weren't too far behind us anyway. And they've been banging in fastest laps pretty much the whole time when I've been sticking it out. But I do believe that it will come back, you know, to me at the end of the race. You know, especially if there's no sort of safety car and no wet conditions, which isn't looking like it's going to rain in the sunny conditions at the moment. Senna also decided to pit at the end of lap 15. There you can just see me coming round Rascasse at the time. And, yeah, pretty much been very, very dominant from Senna so far. Even since Schumacher's come into the pit lane, he hasn't been setting bad lap times whatsoever. And this pretty much means that Senna is also going to be on a one-stop strategy, just like myself. He comes out in the midst of this battle, and that is some of the one-stoppers who have still stayed out, one of which is Emerson Fittipaldi. So he is at the head of the train now. And, yeah, as we're on lap 16, obviously that's going to hinder Senna, and hopefully we will be able to catch up with the sort of front train of cars. And, yeah, at the moment we're just sort of gaining positions with cars coming into the pit lane. Giuseppe Farina, who I actually thought came in at the same time as me, so that must have been Mario Andretti that came in. But, yeah, as we go on to lap 19 now, you can see that, as I mentioned, Senna came out behind Fittipaldi, who is yet to stop. He was one of the cars that started on the super soft tyres. So Senna has got the jump on Michael Schumacher, and he's on a one-stop. He is looking unstoppable this afternoon. And then it's sort of followed by the likes of Vettel, Button, and myself. And, yeah, at the moment, it's looking very, very tasty. We've put ourselves into a very good position to try and get a podium in this race, especially going on to that one stop, which, yeah, it might be difficult to pull off, but if we can, that is going to be very, very good. Also, Mika Hakkinen is in the midst of that battle, so Vettel managing to stay ahead of the Finn, who I believe came into the pits at the same time as Vettel. But, yeah, it's all looking very confusing, is the order at the moment, and we're on lap 21, so I'm not sure when Fittipaldi is actually going to come into the pit lane, but he is very, very much holding this front section of cars up, and we have very much joined it now, and we're trying to go down the inside of Button. We want to be making moves and get up with the likes of Senna if we have any chance of winning this race, but it was very, very difficult to pull off at the hairpin. And that's just Monaco for you, you know. You've really, really sort of got to persevere and pick your opportunities. Nelson Piquet behind us, interestingly, is actually on the ultra soft tyres now. So, yeah, that is a very interesting move. It looks as if he's on a 2-stop. He really could have put himself into contention if he had have gone for that one-stop strategy. But nonetheless, we're just going to keep trying to continue and chase down the likes of Jenson Button. And Button has actually dropped back from that section of cars now. We have a big, big lockup going through there, but we have got the DRS. We're just trying to straighten the car up in order to get a good run, but you can see as we get on the throttle, we just get a little bit too much wheel spin, I think, and just drop back from Button. Lap 23, we get another opportunity to overtake, but this time Emerson Fittipaldi is in the pit lane, and it's almost like a safety car restart. You know, he was going so slowly in comparison to us that, yeah, I was just completely caught unawares, and you can see Button pulling off into the distance, which is, you know, didn't bother me too much because I knew that they were going to be coming in to the pit lane pretty soon. But still, as I said, I wanted to be up with Senna and fighting, but we have a big, big lockup there as Button braked early, and that's because he's going into the pit lane along with my teammate and Hakkinen. So that releases us into P2, because I think Schumacher was also in the pit lane too. And yes, he is. So we are up into P2 now, and this is a big, big opportunity for us to get a podium around Monaco. And Mika Hakkinen has retired on lap 28. You can just see on the minimap, he's had an engine blowout, and as he pulls over to the side of the racetrack, as you can see, that must be so demoralising for the Finnish driver. McLaren have been on it all weekend, and there he is, just parked up And, well, that corner is famous for Nico Rosberg locking up at that corner, and it's now famous for Mika Hakkinen parking it in the Legends career mode. But, yeah, going on to lap 30, Senna just had the pace over me all weekend. And he was proving it during this race. We're quite a long way back, but we are in a pretty good P2 at the moment. And Lewis Hamilton, who is also trying to pull off the one stop, is just behind us in P3 and closing. He's followed by Rubens Barrichello, also on a one stop, followed by Giuseppe Farina, who's on the same strategy, and then comes Michael Schumacher. So he has really messed up the strategy in this race for Ferrari. Maybe they couldn't, get to the end with tyre wear. He may still come back into the race, but that isn't actually Nelson Piquet, as you may think. That is actually Jack Brabham, who has really put himself into contention. Not sure if he's on a one-stopper as well, but nonetheless, fantastic strategy from him. And in the tail end of the points at the moment is Fernando Alonso for Renault, so that is interesting. A battle with his former McLaren teammate, Jenson Button, is on the cards. But as we go towards the end of lap 31, just take a look at the gap in the top left-hand corner. 12.5 seconds. So that was a bit demoralising, to be honest. And we've only got 7 laps left, but we've knocked our front wing as well. So we've gone so long in this race without doing any sort of damage. And you can see already it's hardly paying dividends on our braking. And then come lap 33, a big lockup. We've got Lewis Hamilton behind us. We had to cut across the circuit slightly there. And now Hamilton is going to take a look down our inside into the back. And he just had to bail out on it. We took the racing line. Unfortunately, that was enough. But all the way on to lap 38, we're on 63% tyre wear. And just look at the train of cars that we've got going behind us. I mean, call me Jarno Trulli, because I just literally have the whole field in a train behind me. So Hamilton is going to take a look. We're on lap 38, of course, now. So only just the one lap left in the race. So behind him is currently Rubens Barrichello. And then we've got Giuseppe Farina still managing to fend off Michael Schumacher. Then it's my teammate, Sebastian Vettel. And behind him is the Lotus, I believe, of Emerson Fittipaldi. And then there is quite a big gap. But on to lap 39 now. And 2/3 of our left tyre has gone. I mean, we're nearing the canvas already. We're into the bottom third of it. And now, as we come round the final corner with Ayrton Senna, he is going to take one of the easiest victories he will ever have around Monaco. He proves that he's the Monaco master. And Ayrton Senna wins the Monaco Grand Prix. But it is not done further back yet. And as we come through the swimming pool chicane, can we fend off Lewis Hamilton is the question. And he takes us little look down the inside of Raskas. He's basically pushing us through this final corner. We're just looking for a good exit, and we really get a wiggle on out of that final corner, and he's closing up on us, but it's not going to be enough. We come across the line, and Hamilton, well, tries to pass us into turn 1. But there we go, P2 in a very difficult but very rewarding race, and there is the very deserved winner, Ayrton Senna, for McLaren Honda, takes the victory. I changed his helmet this race to yellow, as you guys said, and it has definitely paid dividends for him. The McLaren team looking very happy, and there are the final race results. You can see Senna ahead of myself, Hamilton, Barrichello and Farina. All of us were on the one stop as well. Fittipaldi and Brabham managed to score points as well. Fernando Alonso did a 2-stop and still managed to get into the points, so very good from him after starting right at the back. As we go into the bottom half of the order, you can see there Niki Lauda, who started 16th, so he was way down anyway. Didn't manage to score any points this race, nor did Mika Hakkinen. He was right on the pace all weekend, so pretty disappointing for him. Also Fangio, no points for him or Button, who have been doing pretty well lately. But there we can see the drivers' standings. We are now leading the way after Lauda's DNF. Fangio as well, no points for him in 3rd, so then we go all the way down to 32 points, which is where we find Sebastian Vettel. Also a good race for Lewis Hamilton, takes him to 31, ahead of Schumacher on 29. And all the way up in 7th is Ayrton Senna. There we can see the constructors standings, and Red Bull ourselves, we're currently leading the way on 92 points, overtaking Ferrari this race, and McLaren leaped all the way up to 4th, which is good for them. Also some solid points for Brawn, who have leaped up into P7. But that is the Monaco Grand Prix, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. It was packed with action, and yeah, next time we are at the Red Bull Ring. I'm not quite sure when that one will be out. I'll try and get it done for Thursday, but yeah, I'll do my best. But yeah, until then, I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.